In 1681 AD, the known world was effectively the Roman Empire. This was the era of the Pax Romana, a period of relative peace and stability across a massive, sprawling society. At the top of this hierarchy sat one man, Emperor Marcus Aurelius. He possessed absolute, unchecked authority over millions of lives and the entirety of the empire's resources. By default, the life of a Roman emperor was an exercise in extreme hedonism. The expectation was that you indulged. Wine, money, physical gratification, any vice the mind could imagine was directly within reach, completely unbound by law, custom, or ethics. Think about that scenario. If you have infinite resources and absolutely no consequences for your actions, what stops you from becoming a monster? How do you resist temptation when no one can tell you no? We often hear that power corrupts, but in reality, absolute power acts as a vacuum, stripping away social pressure to reveal a person's true, unfiltered character. Staring down that beast of limitless temptation for 19 years, Marcus Aurelius made an active choice every single day. He chose virtue. He chose to be a good man when the world demanded absolutely nothing of him. We know exactly how he managed this because he left behind a document we now call Meditations, a messy, unformatted 150-page private journal. These pages originally had no title. They were never intended for publication, and they were certainly never meant to be read by the public. These were his deepest, most closely guarded personal confessions. Those pages reveal a man wrestling with his own psychology. He is actively coaching himself, fighting his own impulses to stay grounded when external forces offer total indulgence. The sheer scale of his restraint is staggering. The most profound philosophical victories of the most powerful man on earth happened completely in private, proving that true virtue requires an audience of none. Marcus was a forebearer of Stoicism. A core tenet of the school is the idea that we must live in accordance with nature. A tree grows as tall as it can because that is its inherent design. For humans, nature assigned a different design. Our duty is to fulfill our potential to be kind and virtuous. Wasting your potential is the lowest state. Living virtuously is difficult when the world constantly places toxic or wicked people in your path. Marcus acknowledged this, believing these individuals are a guaranteed, unchangeable part of the universe. Expecting to go through life without encountering immorality is absurd. It would be like asking a vine to grow without thorns. So how did the emperor handle the worst of society? Instead of lashing out, he forced his focus entirely inward, locking the world away. When someone wronged him, he reminded himself that he had his own faults, and that they likely acted out of ignorance. You have no control over the chaotic people the world places in front of you. Your only responsibility is to protect your internal borders. Like encountering bad people, catastrophic adversity is an escapable part of life. Praying for an easy path is a fool's errand. The storm is coming. You cannot dictate when tragedy strikes, so your true power lies in your response. You have the agency to react to chaos with bravery. By stripping away the emotional reaction, the Stoic mind reclassifies a disaster. It transforms from a burden into a neutral opportunity, a chance to persist and prove your resilience. This same detachment applies to the trap of material possessions. Marcus had access to staggering riches, but maintained emotional distance from his money. He appreciated what he had, but refused to let its disappearance destroy his internal peace. This mental framework even scales to the ultimate loss of control, mortality. Marcus spent a lot of time thinking about death. He concluded that death isn't a tragedy, it is simply another assigned duty of nature. You fulfill your role, and then you leave. Whether it's wealth, or unpredictable hardship, or even death, they share one critical trait. They are entirely external. They cannot improve or degrade your character. Only your reaction does. This brings us to a specific distinction in Stoic philosophy, the separation between pleasure and happiness. This visualization shows how external stimuli operate. Things like money, fame, and success provide pleasure. But pleasure is just a series of quick spikes. It is volatile, intensely temporary, and it inevitably fades back to zero. Happiness operates differently. Look at this stable baseline cutting through the noise. That represents a permanent, internal state of being. You generate this baseline solely by living a life of continuous self-improvement and virtue, independent of whatever is happening outside of your head. If you spend your life chasing those erratic external spikes, you guarantee yourself a baseline of anxiety. Cultivating internal virtue is the only mathematically reliable way to secure lasting peace. The specific details of a Roman emperor's life from 2,000 years ago might seem disconnected from your own, but the human condition remains identical. You cannot dictate the economy, the tragedies that will strike, or the behavior of the people around you. Even the ruler of the known world couldn't do that. The single domain where you possess absolute control is within the borders of your own mind. The only thing worth fearing is yourself. The only true failure is looking away from your own internal borders and abdicating the responsibility to fulfill your potential.